welcome to the alley, my rehearsal home away from home. And these are the doors which are open. Come on in. It's kind of like Fraggle Rock or something. The studio we're in is called the Alley, and it's basically a throwback to the golden period of rock and roll, I guess, or 70s, 60s kind of memorabilia place, and it's a lot of fun to be here. And it was actually started in 1973, which was the year I was born. So it's kind of like rehearsing in a museum, sort of a homemade museum. This is Purple Haze on for orchestra. No, I don't know what it is. And as you hear, there's a continual banjo sound vibrating everywhere, if you can hear that. And this is my rehearsal studio in here. We're in LA. It's the very beginning of the second wave of Rufus music that's going to be coming out fairly soon. And I'm just rehearsing and getting it all ready. I really wanted this album to be all sort of new songs and all songs that were written in a certain period of time, just to give it some kind of continuity or something. I was living at the Chelsea Hotel for a summer, I guess about 2 summers ago, and 99, whatever, some time ago. I mean, nothing ever changes at the Chelsea, so it could have been 69 for all I care. I was living there and, you know, paying $2,000 for an apartment to be a bohemian kind of thing. So I figured, well, I might as well get some songs out of this. I mean, the Chelsea is a wonderful place to live, but it's not really a flop house anymore. But it's still, they try to maintain that vibe. So I just, you know, set up a piano in one of the rooms, and it was actually right by the front of the hotel, right by the hotel sign. So outside of my room, there was a big E. People would walk and go, "E," whatever, and the red was shining in, and I just, you know, essentially, I hadn't had a lot of free time since I just got off tour from the last record, so it was the first period of me to really, for me to really sit around and write, and I just went out every night and met all these, you know, the cast of characters, and threw myself into as many, you know, situations as possible just to get material, and then I would recede back up to the Chelsea and, you know, call on the ghosts in the hallway and write and pretend I'm, well, I'm not quite Sid Vicious, but maybe more, a combination between Sid Vicious and Virgil Thompson, Sid Thompson. I don't have to go to the bathroom, but I will take you there. I don't have any party favors, and it's really dark. And then, yes, and then there's the lovely toilet, and this is how it works. It's kind of the outdoorsy thing, motif, so it's very pretty. I think what's important about especially the production of the songs, what composes is the voice. I think my voice is more, it comes out more on this record. My producer, who I worked with on this record, Pierre Marchal, who produced Sarah McLachlan's, all of her work, and who I've worked with before, is really amazing at making the voice be the centerpiece of the work. In this record, I mean, one of the reasons it's called Poses is that there's little vignettes about different characters and different people that I met, where I really tried to maybe step into their skin. A lot of the last record, for instance, was me singing about, like, the poor, heartbroken, you know, love person that I am or whatever, and this one I'm trying to be a little more of the heartbreaker. And some of it's completely a lie, made up, people I've never met and situations I've never been in, but I'm not going to tell. Okay, back through the wild highway. I love this thing on the street here. It's like a little, the never-ending highway. It's the Jim Morrison Highway of Death. All these poses, such beautiful The lead song, Poses, is sort of about there's this club that I went to a lot called Beige. It's sort of like the gay aristocracy or something of whoever goes there. It's very faggy in the best of the ways. Place where I would go every week. What I saw happen is that these young guys would come to New York and they'd sort of be all fresh-faced and lovely, and they'd kind of go to Beige every weekend, and it would be kind of fun and whatever. But then by the end of the summer, you know, they were, you know, homeless and or completely, you know, destroyed. You see Alley 1973. You filmed that little thing, Alley 1973. Martha? Oh, Martha Wainwright. Martha Wainwright, my lovely sister. She's amazing. She's really, because I mean, I have to say honestly, I think it has been very hard for her, because I did always get everything first. I mean, I was the firstborn, and it is easier sometimes when you're a guy in this business. Well, let's all admit it. And she's really helped me so much by being in my band and singing with me and adding a certain dimension to my show. And it's very important that I allow her to sing. What's ended up happening is that we've continued to work together on both of, you know, me working with her on her stuff and her working with me on mine. Basically, we're both brilliant. We're both complete and utter geniuses. You know, it's going to be Loretta Lynn, Crystal Gayle, whatever, I don't know. which one is which. I'm definitely more comfortable with a band night after night, having that support, having that, just those bodies around me and the music, and it's definitely more comforting. But essentially my work does come from the solo aspect. I mean, I've never really been in a band. I never was in garage bands or had anything like that. I'd always, where I love the most to be is alone at the piano for hours and have that sort of full control. So I think that I feel more comfortable with a band on the road, but the solo piano thing is where it stems from. Well, the solo one on the piano is called In a Graveyard. It's quite short, and I wrote it in a graveyard. And it's about death, but how beautiful death is. It's about the beauty of death. I tried to write it. I'd first written the melody and then put it to words by a poem by Blake, because I'm kind of into Blake. And then I said, well, these words aren't good enough. So I wrote my own, and it kind of worked better for the song. The other song is called Cigarettes and Chocolate Milk, and it's a very personal song, and it's just about sort of it's very indicative of the living in the Chelsea, with going out and having a great time and having a wonderful time, but also just, you know, just trying to, you know, just not becoming a total drug addict or alcoholic, and that fine line.